Okay, starting. Good morning, everyone. Today we joined by a great nutrition expert, Crystal Saldivar. In this interview, she will share with us her knowledge on how maintaining a healthy diet on our university life. My classmate Orlando and I will be asking her some questions. Thank you, Crystal. Could you start telling us a bit about your background and experience in student nutrition?
Sure. So I started actually in exercise and fitness first, and I started my own business called For Life Fitness about 6 years ago, and it was only the fitness part of it. And I realized how important having the nutrition is to pair with the exercise. So I went back and I got schooling to add in the nutrition part of my business. So now I can teach someone the whole picture of how to take care of their bodies through exercise, but also how to take care of the inside of our bodies through good nutrition. So that's how I got started. And basically what I do is I take someone and I customize plans for them. Meaning if they come to me and they have maybe health problems, or they just want to learn how to eat healthy, or they're a student and they say, well, I don't have very much money and I want to learn how to eat healthy on a budget. Those are ways that I can teach them by giving them knowledge of what foods are healthy and how to eat. And when they have that knowledge and base, they can eat healthy anywhere they go based on their choices.
What are the core principles of healthy eating, especially for business university students?
I think the most important thing that I notice with students is that they're very busy and they don't have a lot of time. And so they tend to buy a lot of fast food, which is very unhealthy, because they want something quick. And what I like to teach is to teach them the basic core of the macronutrients, so that when they do go get a meal, they understand how to order a balanced meal based off a proper macronutrient profile.
It's so interesting. And the next question, can you explain how listening to one's body can help students make better food choices?
Yes. I think today, even though we have doctors and places to go, nobody knows what it's like to live in our body except for us. And you can read all the books you want, but you feel your body and you feel the symptoms, and you have to be an advocate for your own health and your own body. So I teach not to ignore any signs, whether it's like brain fog or dizzy or, fatigue, if you're tired. There's most likely, it's very common that you have some sort of a deficiency in one of the nutrients or minerals that our body needs. And those are essential. And essential means our body can't make them, and we have to physically put them in our body. And when you're eating fast food or not eating enough food, and you're not listening to your body, you can get pretty sick, right? And it all boils down to eating the right foods and being taught and having that knowledge of how to do that.
What are some of the main changes students face in trying to maintain a healthy diet, and how can they manage this?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
Yeah. What are some of the main changes students change challenge students face in trying to maintain a healthy diet, and how can they manage this?
I think the biggest challenge for students, but not just students, I think everyone, is they're not getting adequate amount of protein in their diet. So a lot of times when we eat, we're eating too many carbs, and a lot of times they're not the best carbs that are for our body. And too many carbs is what spikes our blood sugar, and that's how you get diabetes. Having a balanced diet and having the proper amount of each macronutrient is important. But at the same time, I tell everyone to increase how much protein they're getting, no matter what, female, male, students, young, that we need to increase the protein. That would be the number one piece of advice that I would give anybody.
Okay. Could you tell us more about the macronutrients? Could you briefly explain the functions of the three macronutrients?
Yes.
The proteins, carbohydrates, and fats, please.
Yeah, so we have our carbohydrates, which is our main source of energy. Our body loves to have carbs as the main energy source. Carbs also get broken down into glucose. That's what fuels our cells. Carbohydrates come from different sorts of grains, fruits, vegetables. That's basically where the carbs come from. Then you have your protein, which is going to be meat, dairy, legumes, and nuts. Those are essential. Protein is essential to build and repair your tissues. It's for muscle maintenance, muscle growth, and a lot of people don't know this, but it has a lot to do with our immune system. The more protein we have, the more muscle we have, the better immune system that we have. And proteins are made up of amino acids. So good proteins, like animal sources, will have a full amino acid profile, whereas if you get protein from plant sources, they don't always have the full amino acid profile. So you want to make sure that you combine different plant foods in order to get the full amino acid profile, and that's how you get that's how you can maintain muscle and repair tissues and such. Fats and good fats are for energy storage and for cell structure, and also good fats, that's what makes our hormones. And so those, all back in the old days when they would say eat low fat, that's no good, because that fat is what makes our hormones. And we get these from oils, nuts, seeds, our fatty fish, and there's different types of fats. There's saturated fats, there's unsaturated fats, and trans fats. So there's all different sorts. But our brain is made up of like 70% fat. We absolutely is essential to have good, healthy fats in our body. So it's important to be able to distinguish the difference between a healthy fat and a not a healthy fat. And so basically having for our health and for it to be balanced, we need to have a good balance of all those macronutrients.
Okay, thank you. Do you have specific examples of quick, affordable nutrition meals for students?
Quick meals. This is something that I always say that's very easy to do. I like to make everything in a bowl. I say it because it's easy to see. It just doesn't take any certain type of a recipe. So when you go shop, I shop in macronutrients. So I teach people shop in macronutrients, meaning, okay, what proteins am I going to buy? What healthy fats am I going to have available? And what healthy carbohydrates can I have? Then I make one of each that match. I put it all in a bowl, maybe put a little salsa on top, and you're done. So to me, that's good. It's like, for example, I could make some lean ground turkey. I can make some vegetables like maybe a sweet potato or some kale or something like that. You saute that up. And then for my fat, I can have some avocado. So once I have all those done, I make a bowl. Oh, and then for my carb, I can have like maybe some rice. So when I put it all together in my bowl, I put some rice at the bottom, put my veggies, put my ground turkey, and then I add some avocado on top. That's a quick meal, and you can do that with anything. You just switch out the carb, you switch out the protein, you switch out the fat. Does that make sense?
Thank you. So interesting. And I think last of this interview, I go to make my supermarket.
Yes.
With proteins and carbohydrates and lean beans.
Yes.
And leguminous.
That's right. So if you do all your shopping and macronutrients, you'll always have those choices at home, and then on your plate you have one of each. But you just put a little more protein than anything else.
Okay. Thank you. Finally, what advice would you give us for students to develop lasting healthy eating habits, especially during stressful times?
I think the stressful times are the most important, because when it's stressful and we're tired and we're out of time, that's when we go look for things that are easy and convenient. So we say, oh, I'm too tired, I'm too stressed, I'm going to go to McDonald's, or I'm going to go get fast food, and but I think the biggest thing is that if you can make foods ahead of time in bulk. So I make a big thing of rice and it lasts me the week. I make a big thing of beans, or I make a big thing of ground beef or turkey or chicken, whatever that is, and you have that, then that's something that you can just heat up rather than having to make a brand new meal every day. So when you're stressed and you're cut on time, you're short on time, having those things already prepared is key. And if you have to go get something, you buy something that's very similar to what you have at home. And that's how you stay healthy.
Well, thank you very much, Crystal. This is all for us. And thank you for your help. This is so important for our project. And thank you for your time and your disponibility.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. I hope you guys do well.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Hello, everyone. Today we're interviewing Mireya Frias, a nutritionist with a lot of experience in helping people, especially students, and eat healthier. She will share her ideas on how students can have a better diet, even if they don't have much time or money. Thank you, Mireya, for being with us today. How are you?
Hello, fine, thanks. Thank you for the time, and it's a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you. The first question for you, could you start with telling us a little about your experience and how have been involved with studying nutrition?
Actually, I give guidance about nutrition for the students in this division. The students are extremely important group because in this age they begin to establishing the habits that they will have in your lives. Personally, I would like with this group to contribute to the food education.
Okay, thank you. In your experience, what are the most common barriers university students face when trying to maintain a healthy diet?
I think the most important thing is about the education relation with healthy eating. Also the organization of their students, and sometimes the limited financial.
Yes. How do your time limitations and economic resources impact their food choices?
Many times these conditions about the time or resource for the students maybe make undersized food choices. They consume foods they have available, and usually these products are ultra processed options, and these products are high in sodium, sugar, or saturated fats, and this.
What practical recommendation would you give to students with a limited budget or to improve their daily nutrition?
About when students have a good nutrition, they one moment, please. When the students have a good nutrition, they can be better choice about the diet for the diet, and they maintaining adequate state of nutrition. Also, maybe them benefit and their academic performance.
Could you mention some examples of healthy, affordable, and easy to prepare meals for students, please?
Sure. The recommendations that could help you are meal planning, making foods that your budget, and do that are part of a correct diet. Select natural food, seasonal and locally products. This is the some recommendation.
Okay, thank you. For students with very busy schedules, what advice would you give for efficiently planning their meals or snacks?
Maybe select natural foods and
bananas.
Bananas, yes, and variety of fruits and vegetables, grains, such like tortillas, beans, lentils, chickpeas, and low fat products, milk, yogurt, cheese, and other products, natural products.
Okay. What strategies do you find most effective for helping students develop and maintaining healthy eating habits over the long term for a long semester?
Yes. Plan and prepare your meals and snacks in advance. Maybe choosing simple preparations with healthy foods that you like. And this is the recommendation.
Okay. How can students ensure that their eating habits are not negatively affected during successful times, such as exams or major projects?
I will recommend that you maintain a correct and flexible diet, focusing on maintaining regular eating schedules, choosing varied foods and preparations, and include in your meals fruits and vegetables.
Do you think universities should offer more support or resources to promote health eating among students? If so, what kind of resource would you recommend?
It's very important to maintain disseminate nutrition education, and maybe include the nutrition in your curriculum, and continue with nutritional support or scholarships.
Okay, thank you. And finally, what will be your most important piece of advice for a student who wants to improve their diet but faces multiple barriers to limited time, budget constraints, and restricted access to health foods?
I think one of the most important things is the meal planning. There is an improvement in eating habits. Remembering to make choice of natural foods that are available and are to liking. And remember, can enjoy your food and give to your body what it needs.
Thank you so much, Mireya. We really appreciate your time and the valuable insights you have shared with us today. Your advice will definitely help you and other students to improve your eating habits. Thank you for being part of your project. Thank you.
Thank you.